Rashford is set to join Barca. Here's why it is a 10 out of 10 deal. First of all, let's talk a little bit about structure. It is a loan with option to buy. That means that there is zero risk, but a huge upside if this turns out to be a successful transfer. Now, if it doesn't succeed, it doesn't block any future operations either. It's not a gamble financially. I would also argue that there are many players from Manchester United that have left and become better versions of themselves in different clubs. In the past, Barca have taken advantage of such market opportunities, as we saw with Aubameyang when he played for Arsenal. Rashford also represents a missing profile in Barca's squad. Other than Lamine Yamal, we don't have a natural outlet who can stretch teams and offer 1v1 presence. Now, while his dribbling statistics might not be that spectacular, Rashford is very direct and offers pace for transitions. He can also beat his man in 1v1 duels. Pace and dribbling are two very fundamental qualities in Hansi Flick's system. It also addresses another problem. Because we have lacked a profile like Rashford in the past, it has often led to Lamine Yamal getting overplayed when he should have been getting more rest. Rashford would allow us to rotate more carefully. It unlocks the right balance as well. If we want to rest Lamine Yamal and play Rashford instead, it means we can shift Rafinha over to the right side and play Rashford from the left side. Rafinha can then operate as an inside forward from the right, while Rashford stays wide on the left side. This will also work for another reason. That reason has all to do with the Balde and Rashford dynamic I can picture. Barca can feed a left side that's far more dynamic and designed for specific games. Both Balde and Rashford offer extreme pace going forward. But most importantly is the angles in which they operate. Rashford is both right-footed and has elite ball striking. That means when he carries the ball inside from the left side, defenders must always try to protect the most dangerous zones. That is zone 14, in which Rashford is an expert at finishing. This leaves space for Balde to make overlapping runs. In other words, we get a better attacking flow. And it all has to do with the angles. When Rafinha plays from the left, he tends to drift inside and function almost as a natural number 10. Balde is often left isolated and forced to carry the left side on his own. Rashford would provide much more support. Two very complementary profiles who should strengthen each other on the pitch. I think if you want a real-life example, you can look to the game Barca had against AC Milan in the 23/24 season. Ansu Fati then played as the left winger, with Balde as the left back. The two created a very nice dynamic, with Ansu Fati cutting inside and finding the far corner. A beautiful goal and something I think that Rashford and Balde can build on. With Rashford from the left, it means we can play Rafinha as a 10 where he is at his best. This would also give us two left-footed playmakers, Lamine and Rafinha, operating from the right side and the right half space. Well, the two can switch positions, which creates unpredictability, because you never know where you're going to find them. Sometimes it might be Lamine Yamal operating from the center, other times it's going to be Rafinha. However, most importantly, the two can create chances for Rashford. The two will play in spaces where they can play through balls to the 27-year-old who thrives in and around the box. He has the running power, finishing and box threat to take advantage of their creativity. Rashford's ball striking can also be very useful in Barca's system. If you study his technique, you will see that it is quite unique. He hits the ball with a straight leg, generating tons of power. It's not always precise, but from distance it can be very difficult to stop, especially when he cuts inside. This has tactical value for Barca. Lamine Yamal averages about 5 dribbles per 90 minutes. He consistently draws in 2 to 3 players. That is what it takes to stop him. But that also means that it opens up space elsewhere. Rashford could allow us to take advantage of that. If Lamine Yamal has the ball, he can switch the play to Rashford, who will be in a good position to challenge 1v1. With Balde also overlapping, he has the right conditions to cut inside and test the goalkeeper. I think this is a way we can score many more goals than we have, and better utilize the fact that Lamine Yamal is such a genius on the ball. In terms of his best position, Rashford can play as both a striker and on the wings. In other words, he's a versatile player. Versatility is key in modern football. While he mainly adds squad depth, I think Rashford has the abilities to push the others to perform at their best. He can challenge all the attackers and no one should feel safe. The fact he took a salary cut to join us suggests that he's very motivated and he wants to play. Increased competition is always good. It keeps the players on their toes. The biggest reason why I'm so excited about Rashford joining Barca is how we can navigate various game states. He adds something different, and difference is always good. As I said, he won't necessarily be a starter, but he can still make a huge impact. Imagine we hold on to a lead in a La Liga game. The opponent will naturally push forward, sacrifice players, and take bigger risks. They must do so to find an equalizer, and that is where a player such as Rashford becomes so fundamental in the squad. Hansi can respond to the game state by bringing him on. This could essentially turn the opponent's strategy against them. Few players in the world are better at exploiting space than Rashford. There were times against Atletico Madrid where I felt that we suffered. A player like Rashford can punish them. I see a lot of value in having the type of pace and transitional power that Rashford has. His game against PSG when he played for Aston Villa represents it. Among superstars, he was arguably the best player on the pitch. He constantly created danger due to the space PSG gave up. I want a player like that in the squad. You should always fear a player with something to prove. Rashford has. He waited for his opportunity and now it's here. This is his chance to prove his quality to the world. The circumstances of the deal is perfect, a loan on a lower salary, and he adds specific quality to the squad, which I just talked about. Whether he succeeds or not, it doesn't change the fact that Barca made the right move in going for Rashford.